Hello and welcome to another Sunday Live. Please type in the chat to tell me that you can hear me and see me, as I had an internet issue this morning. Virgin Media for some reason has got a shortage, so that's the reason why it was going out late. So let me know if you can hear me, see me, and if the internet connection is stable. Let me just get my windows up. Hopefully you guys have had a good weekend so far. And for those of you that are studying, it's been going well. Right, let's see if anyone's here. Whether you guys can hear me, get rid of that. Need this one and this one. Right. Yodana, sorry, where are you going last 3 weeks? Are you okay? I'm fine. Last 3 weeks I've been here. You haven't. I don't go live on a Monday, if that's what you're talking about. It has been about 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks into the new year. So I don't go live on a Monday now. It's on a Sunday at 10 a.m. usually. Like I said, it was a late start this morning because Virgin Media has let me down with the internet connections. I had to switch over to my Sky connection. That's why it took a little while to go live. I don't go live in a week, Monday, sorry, because of the boot camp now. I do a boot camp every weekday, 4:30 to 6:30 on between Monday to Friday. But hopefully you're well anyway. Simply means nice to see that you are here. You're in Egypt. Lucky for some. But hopefully you enjoy it anyway. Thank you for turning up. To be honest, in Egypt, I don't know if I would be doing that, but yeah, congrats. Thank you, first and foremost, for being here. Appreciate it, and yeah, enjoy your Egypt trip. Stay safe. Rosalind, hi. I've not seen your name before, so I'm assuming that you're new or been silent watcher. Oh wow, you got your test tomorrow. If you got any questions, type it in the chat. Let me help you out. Send you in there nice and confident for tomorrow. But please put a Q. This is for everyone. Please put a Q semicolon. This is how it should look when you do your questions. Otherwise, it looks like a comment, and I may miss it as I'm scrolling through, looking for your answers as well. Barberton Day, again, I've not seen your name before, so welcome to you. I'm fine. Hopefully you are well as well. Alicia, it's nice to see that you're back. Oh, you can hear me and see me. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate that. Nelly, I've not seen you before. Oh, you've got new. Join live. Good morning. Nelly Wealth. Hopefully you are well. Hopefully you learn something and keep coming back. Again, if you've got any questions, type it in the chat. Let us know how far down your journey you are with your studying. Welcome, Sandra. Welcome. I am fine. Greetings from London. Hopefully the weather's decent down there. Real authentic. Thank you for coming back. Appreciate that. Hopefully you've had a good weekend, a good week as well. When's your test? I'm sure that you booked one. I'm sure from memory that you've booked a test. Let me know, Real Authentic, when your test date is. If you don't want to put the date, let me know roughly if you did book one first and foremost, and if it's coming up. Eddie GTR, appreciate the comments. Thank you. Appreciate that. Pneumonia here. You decided to come back. I appreciate that. Pass first time. Okay, congratulations. 44 out of 50 and 68 and has perception. Your videos helped me a lot. I appreciate first of all, coming back and letting me know how you got on. Because it helps to know that the stuff that I'm putting out is helping you guys pass the test. I was in the YouTube comments yesterday and there were so many passes. A few fails, but there's so many passes. I can't keep up with all the YouTube channel comments. I am reading them, but I just can't respond to all of them. So keep them coming. I am reading all of them. And what's happening as well, so I missed this one, Rosalind. What's happening as well that I've noticed from the chat and the comments, sorry, the emails I'm getting, some of you are still failing. And by your scores, I'm not being funny, you shouldn't have been taking a test with the scores that you guys are getting. If you're getting 34, 35 on a real test, you wasn't ready. That shows a lack of understanding. But like I said, I'm here to help where possible. I send that some love to everyone. Appreciate that. Another one's got their test tomorrow. Please put in the chat if you guys have got any questions. Alicia, if you keep telling yourself that before you know it, you're going to be 2026, take it, book it, take it. As long as you've been studying. If you haven't been studying, then it doesn't make sense. But if you have been studying, take your test. It's only going to, I always say to my pupils, it's only going to go one of two ways. To be fair, my pupils don't have a choice because we booked their test. They've got to go for it. But you guys have choices. It's only going to go one of two ways. You pass, you move on to your driving test. You fail it, you got a baseline. Failing is not necessarily end of the world. It's not end of the world, full stop. It gives you a baseline so you know where to go next. If you keep putting it off to the next day, you ain't passing anyway. So you're not achieving anything from that. At some point, you have to take it. So come out your comfort zone, book it, and then take it. And then we'll see where we go from there. Prince, welcome. Yes, I am fine. And you passed your theory test. Congratulations to you. Well done to you. Thank you for coming back and letting me know you got on. Sandra's got a test in February, which is only around the corner. Oh, by the way, next Sunday, I'm in two minds whether to do a live or not. It's happened to be my birthday next Sunday, February the 2nd. I probably will go live anyway because it's first thing in the morning. But it's my birthday next week, February the 2nd. So send me a lot of birthday wishes. Playlist. I'm not just going off here. Okay, the playlist has been helpful. God, my dyslexia kicked in right then. Oh, Eddie's passed his test. Congratulations to you. Right, I'm going to keep going through the chat, so keep them coming. And I will do an overview of theory test, as I always do before we start. And then we'll do the 20 question mock test because you guys ain't here to hear me waffle on and on and on. So let me just read this again. I missed this. First time I'm going to test this week, my question will be on sensing. You mean has perception? I will do a demonstration at the end because you guys are still struggling with that. I'm still getting questions about how many times you can click. Right, overview. Right, just in case you didn't know, let me just get rid of this. It's multiple choice. If you didn't know, 50 questions. Your 50 questions is made up of 14 categories. If you didn't know, the apps, if you're using apps, have 14 different categories, and the questions are made up of the 14 categories. If you watch my videos, I'm a big fan of studying all the categories and working onto a mock test. The reason being, you don't know what or how many questions you're going to get from those particular categories. So, for example, you may get 5 road signs, 2 road incidents, accidents, 2 first aid questions, and so on and so on and so on. So you need to have general knowledge across the board. So if you do all questions, all categories, you have a better chance of passing your theory test, regardless of what they ask you on the test. If there's 10 of you in the room, for example, it's 10 different mock tests. It's not the same mock test for everybody. It's different questions. It's random. And especially if you do fail it and go for another test, it's going to be a different set of 50 questions. That's why I always say restudy the categories with the paperwork they gave you. You need 43 to pass that section. The time that you have is 57 minutes. I will suggest you take the 57 minutes if you need it. I always say to my students, as you go along, flag the questions that you're not sure of, and then go back to only the flagged ones. I personally wouldn't go back to number 1 and work through all 50 because you've got too much time on your hands. You'll start to talk yourself out of the correct answer and change it to the wrong answer. So only flag the ones as you go along and then go back to the flagged ones. Sorry, almost lost my voice. 57 minutes is more than enough time if you've been studying. If you've got learning disabilities, You may need a little bit longer, but you need to talk to them in advance. You may need to send some paperwork in where they will give you an extended time on that. Once you've done your 50th question, you click on that. You then move on to your hazard perception. It's 14 videos. You need 44 to pass that section. 13 of the videos have single hazard, i.e. score maximum of 5, and one of them's got a double, which you can score maximum of 10. You have to average at least 3 across the board. If your average at the end of your videos is less than 3, it's going to be a fail. So ideally, you want 4s and 5s. The questions is always going to be leading to safety or controlled outcomes. So it's going to be either safe or a controlled outcome, which is normally your first aid or motorway questions that leads to a controlled outcome. But the majority of answers need to lead to safety, safety, safety. So read the questions carefully, read the answers carefully, and go for the safest options. That is the overview of the test. Let me just catch up with you guys before we kick on with the mock test. Melody, welcome to you. Well, congratulations on passing first and foremost. Thank you for coming back to the live to let me know how you got on. Appreciate that. And you're taking driving lessons. Are you taking driving lessons? Are you looking to book driving lessons? Just let me know with that one. Having problem with signs. I'm having problems with signs. That's what failed me. Right. Unless you got 8 road signs on, if you're talking about the real test itself, unless you got 8 road signs, which is unlikely, that's not what failed you. It's a combination of road signs and other questions. So you need to if you're talking about the real test itself, you need to look at the paperwork, because there's no way on earth that you got 8 road signs in your real test. So it's a combination of road signs and other questions. I would suggest you look at your paperwork and then go from there. But if it's road signs, I have got road sign videos on my channel. You can watch that in a playlist, and the deeper dive that I did with road signs, give you the shape, colors, the meanings behind it with that as well. Olenki, second attempt, I got 42 out of 50. So you got 8 questions wrong. Just silly mistakes. At least you know what you did wrong, and that's the first thing, knowing what you got wrong in terms of making silly mistakes. Again, you got 8 questions wrong. That would suggest you got about 5 categories wrong on the real test. So I would look at the paperwork, restudy those categories, and then go again. But ask yourself why you made silly mistakes, because you don't want to make the same mistake twice. So ask yourself why you made silly mistakes and see if you can go from there as well. Abby, congratulations on passing. Thank you for coming and let me know how you got on. What's next for you? Driving lessons or driving test? Are your husband's pass? Say congratulations to your husband. Why is he not here saying that he's passed? Are you studying for the theory then? And just saying thank you on behalf of your husband. Oh, India! Wow. I love the dedication for you guys. I really appreciate it. Alicia Ariel saying that's procrastinating. You must rebuke the spirit of fear. Yes, I won't say it's procrastinating, but I'll definitely get rid of the fear. You have to come out your comfort zone to do stuff, to get to your goal, your dream, whatever it happens to be. And to get to your driver's license, you have to take the theory test. So take it at some point. Diana, how are you? Good morning. Yeah, you got to take it for a test at some point. Take it, like I said, it's only going to go one or two ways. Pass it or fail it. If it's a pass, happy days. If it's a fail, use it as a positive. Don't see it as a negative. Use it as a positive. Right, let's going to do... there's lots of numbers and I'm not sure what that is. I'm assuming that's a pass. 45 will be the questions. Maybe 72 is a hazard. That is not clear to me on this. Whether it's coming out on YouTube differently, but it's not coming out in my chat as it should do. So let's just do first time here. Welcome to you. Right, let's just do, get my screen up. The mock test first. So 20 question mock test. Like I said, we'll go through it with, if I can show you some tips, tricks along the way, give you some different wordings, how they use it in the real test. I will add, because some of you are still thinking that the apps is the real questions. It's exactly the way it's going to be worded. And that's all the questions there is on the apps. The app only does 777 questions. On the real test, they've got a database over 1,000 questions. It's going to be worded differently, or slightly differently depending on the question you get. And it's going to be some questions that you've never ever seen before, but it still leads to safety. You guys are coming on the send me emails. Oh, the questions was differently. That's why I failed. No, you failed because you didn't understand the question. Because regardless of how they ask the question, it still leads to safety. So that's what you want to be going for. Right. So for those of you that are new, the way this works is let me get my mouse up if I can. Let me do the question first, and while you're doing that, I'll get my mouse. Click on this. Right. What does this sign mean? Always look at the images first, because sometimes there's clues in there. And then you go to your options. This is A, this is B, this is C, and then this is D. So if you think the answer is D, please put the question number and then the letter. So if you think it's 1C, for example, that's what you need to put down, because there's a delay between me and YouTube, you and YouTube. So I want to always make sure we're on the same question number. So please put the question number and then the letter of choice. And while you guys are doing that, I'll try and get my mouse up. And remember, if you've got any questions, please put it in the chat with Q semicolon. It just makes it a lot easier for me to find. So hopefully you guys can see that. Right, as my mouse is working, let's see what you guys are saying. Got this hot in there. Doreen, welcome. Henry, no, hopefully I'm saying that right. 3 times I failed my test is 35. That's what I was saying at the beginning. If you're getting 35s, anything in the 30s, to be honest, you shouldn't be taking the test, because the knowledge is weak. Your general knowledge is weak. But you've taken it 3 times. So what I would suggest you do is get the paperwork they gave you. Hopefully you got all 3 of them. Never throw your paperwork away, by the way. Get all 3 paperwork, put them side by side, ideally date order, and then look at the categories you got the questions wrong in and see if there's a common denominator. For example, if you got road signs wrong on each of your tests, i.e. 3 tests, then you definitely need to study, that's how road works, road signs. If you got 3 road signs questions categories wrong on the 3 tests, you definitely want to be studying that, because that's a common issue that you have. But I'll be honest with you, if you're getting 35 on your 3rd attempt, there's a general knowledge problem with that. And I would go back to basics. I would literally go back to doing all the questions again, because that type of score is what's, when I did the classroom sessions, that's what the people got. 34 to 37 was on average for someone who's never studied before. When we've done classroom, in the boot camp, it's about the same as well, 34 to 37 with no studying. And you've taken the test 3 times and got 35. So that's what I would do, is look for the common denominators on the categories. Lifestyle by T. I'm glad you're here. You've finally made it. Welcome. Right, let me just do the answers quickly and I'll come back to some of your comments. Keep the comments coming. Let me just find the ones. Got that. Wow, there's 93 of you already here. We're not even 10:30. I appreciate you guys being here. I really, really do. So thank you. Can't thank you enough, to be honest. Right, straight away, you guys are all going for Bs. So, Right, most of you gone for B, so let's just take a look at the image so I can remember what was. Melodies typed with flow, bus and cycle lane. Yes, it's with flow. So let me just quickly explain that just in case you guys don't fully understand it. With images, I always say that you go up. You always got to imagine that you're going up with images. It makes life so much easier when they give you tricky images. So the bus and cycle is going up. You guys will be going up on this side on a one-way street. So that's with flow. If the arrow was under the bus, it's contra flow, going against the flow of traffic. So I think you guys went for B. At night, what does it mean if you see a pedestrian wearing reflective clothing and carrying a bright red light? I appreciate it, Rosalind. Nelly, appreciate that. That's down to you if you want to book your test again. I would still suggest you do some more studying before booking a test, unless you book the test a little while away and then work towards it. Thank you, appreciate that. Sandra, what part of February was you born in? The early part, as in Aquarian, or the latter part? Lifestyle by T, keep fading 3 times now, 35. Right, 35, as I mentioned earlier on, shows a lack of knowledge when you get 35. Not having a go, that's just the way it is, it's standard. But you got 41 and 41, so there's an improvement there on the second, but same on the third. So that's still, what's that, 9 questions wrong. 9 questions will give you about 5 to 6 categories, and there's 14 categories. The reason why I do it by categories is because it's 14 categories. If you're getting 5, 6, 7, that's almost a third of the categories you're getting wrong. So it still suggests a lack of knowledge. Because you've taken 3 tests, Lifestyle, I would, again, similar to what I said earlier on to the other person, put all 3 paperwork side by side, ideally in date order, and see if there's a common denominator, as in a common categories, and then restudy those categories. Then go to 50 question mock test and making sure those categories do not come up as a weakness. If it does, there's still an issue there. But I would suggest with 241s, that's still going to be a lack of knowledge. There's got to be a common denominator there. You need to find out what that is. How you been doing a mock test when you was taking mock tests before you went for the test? Diana, appreciate that. I appreciate that. Partial Melodies passed the test in December. All right, let me get to number 2. I'll still keep up with your comments. I'm trying to find these 2 as well. Here we go. Here's the first one. Garnet, welcome to you to the live. Francisca, I've not seen your name before, so welcome to you. Sending that some love, loving that. Right, most of you have gone for these. Let me just make sure there's no difference of opinion. Neha, not seen your name before. Welcome and thank you for that. Melodies put you're approaching an organised walk. All right. At night, pedestrian, reflective clothing, bright red lights. You're approaching an organised walk is D, which is correct. They can ask the same question, but it's a bright white light and it's still organised walk. Let me just quickly explain why this is what it is. A bright red light, the person's at the back of the walk, and a bright white light on the real test, they can ask you that, would be at the front of the walk. They're trying to make it look like a car at night. As I said, with images, you should always go up. So the white light would be at the front of the car and the red light would be at the back of the car. So that's the way it is. Someone said they're struggling on signs, so let's see how you get on with this. Which sign means that the national speed limit applies? So the national speed limit. Go back to your comments. "50 questions make me fail all the time." I'm not sure what you mean by that. Just give me a little bit more context on that, please. So you guys sent me birthday wishes already. I appreciate that. Loving it. Natalie passed in October. We're taking practicals next month. Okay, congratulations on that. Hopefully the practicals go really well. Appreciate the happy birthday wishes. Good morning. Morning. I'm taking driving lessons February 24th. Hopefully that goes well for you. Barisi, appreciate that for coming and speaking up, even though you've been a silent watcher. Vessi, congratulations to you. Thank you for letting me know. At least you're taking driving lessons. Before you know it, as long as you're consistent with the driving lessons, you'll get there. That's the most important thing. At least you're doing that. And you're doing the right thing in terms of not necessarily come back to the live. I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, keep up to date with your theory test because you're going to need it for your lessons and especially your driving test when that comes along. Hi, and Synth. Reason is the way it's wording of a test. Yeah, most of you are failing because of the lack of the wording, but that's also lack of understanding what the words mean because it still comes to one thing. As I say to my students we're now in the boot camp, if I teach you 2 + 2 all the time and someone says what's 3 + 1, it's the same outcome. It's just worded differently. It's the same outcome. If someone says 1 + 1 + 1 + 1, what's the outcome? It's still the same. It's still 4. So it's understanding the question. Some of you are reading the question, choosing answer, but not fully understanding what the question's asking. Hence why when it's worded slightly differently, you guys don't understand it. It throws you, but it's the same answer, safety. So you have to, like I said, fully understand what they're asking in terms of the question. Right, sorry, let me go to number 3 and I'll catch up with the comments at some point. I see you, I see you, I see you, I see you. Where's the first one? Here we go. It was like all of you agreeing this morning. All these. Okay. Got to assume the correct answer is D. Yep. I will add with red circles, 95% of red circles. Someone said they were struggling with signs. So let me just quickly explain. 95% of red circles are no's. A is no entry. B is no vehicles. C is no stopping. And D is your national speed limit for the road you're driving on. Remember, dual carriageway, 70 miles an hour for a car driver. Single carriageway is 60 miles an hour for a car driver. You're on a road that's only wide enough for one vehicle. What should you do if a car is coming towards you? Aziz, you failed your theory test 40. Oh, wow. That's unfortunate. But it's not the best preparation. What I would do, like I said, go through the 40 questions. You got 10 questions wrong. So again, it's going to lead to about 6 maybe 7 categories. I would look at the paperwork and go from there and restudy. And definitely not to neglect the has perception, because that's still a low score. 44 you need 44 to pass 47. And again, I would double check the scores you got on has perception. That would suggest you may have got a couple of 2s, 1s, maybe a couple of 0s on that one. Go back into the Theory Test Pro once you kind of, because it was yesterday you said this was, hopefully it wasn't a serious accident. When you're ready, go back into the Theory Test Pro, and then I can monitor you with that and get you going again, basically. But don't give up with that. But make sure you are fully recovered first from the accident before you start studying again. That's next week, February, next Saturday. What part of February are we talking about? Good morning, Dorian, and everyone. I hope you are well. Did email? Yes, you did email me. You passed it. You didn't give me this. Wow, 49 out of 50. Well done to you. And 53 out of 75. I know you said you missed some studying over Christmas because of ill health, but well done to you, 49 out of 50. Yeah, congrats. I'm proud. I know the effort that you put in to that. So well done to you. And you're taking your driving lessons from memory with D, I think it was, wasn't it? Just remind me, I think it was D you said your driving instructor was. Agotola, again, another pass. Congratulations to you. All right, let me do the 4s. Some of you still put in just the letter, not the question number. Please put the question number first and then the letter afterwards. Oh, got a difference of opinion on this one. The majority of you are going for B's, but someone's gone for a D. MD, pull into a passing place on the left. I've got another D. All right, let's take a look at the D. I'm assuming B's got to be correct. You're on the road, wide enough for okay. B, pull into a passing place on your left. That seems the safest option. Some of you went for D, pull into a passing. That's on the right, that's on the wrong side of the road. That's why I said with images, always imagine that you're going up. Because when you go up, you're on the left. So you pull into a passing place on the left or stop opposite a passing place on the right. But you don't pull into the passing place on the right. That suggests you're on the wrong side of the road. When may you stop on the motorway? Remember, if you guys got any questions, I don't see questions coming up. If you guys got any questions, type it in the chat Q semicolon. And let me answer it. You're on a level crossing with gates. This is a common question that you guys are emailing me with. Level crossing with instructor said that it's safe to cross. The options are A, open the first gate and cross and close it. Open the 2 gates. Right, it's going to be open the 2 gates and drive across. Think about this. This is a level crossing. Go back to safety. This is not in the app. So go back to safety. You're on a level crossing. The train guard said it's safe to cross. The options are open the first gate, drive across, stop on the tracks, close it, open the second gate, drive across, and then close it back. You're stopping on the tracks to open and close gates. That's why it's not the safest option. So you're going to open both gates and drive across without stopping. That's going to be the safest option for your level crossing answers. But that one comes up a hell of a lot that I'm getting emails on. Yeah, as I said, you're going to see different questions that you're going to see questions that you've never seen before. The apps do not give you the questions in the real test because they used to back in the day, many, many years ago, they had all the answers in the books. They had all the answers in the apps. But what happened was people memorize the answers, also memorize the questions, memorize the answers. And when it comes to the driving lessons and driving tests, the fail rate was high because they didn't understand it, they didn't learn it, they just memorized it. So they stopped all of that. So they're trying to get you to fully understand it so you can apply it to your driving test. And hopefully you become a better driver and the insurance rate goes down instead of up. That's the reason why some of the questions are way different. But I still say it again, you're looking for the safest option. Think about if you're opening gates while your car is on the level crossing, you've got an issue. Sorry, 5. Let me get the 5s. You guys always got to think about the safety option. Right. All these. Good morning, Michael. Hopefully you're well. First time here. Thanks for speaking up first and foremost. Welcome. Hopefully you learned something and keep coming back. I'm here every Sunday at 10 a.m. when my internet's working, by the way. Right, D's common answer. Yeah, in emergencies, that's the only time you can stop, ideally on the hard shoulder. What does this traffic sign mean? Again, always look at the image because there's clues in the image. Chloe, welcome to you. I was looking to join your online class, but I was wondering how much is the price? The price is £97, and what you get with that is 5 days training, Monday to Friday at 4:30 to 6:30 Zoom training, where I'll go through everything you need to know to be ready for your theory test by Friday. Ideally, what you want to do is book your theory test as soon as the course finishes, somewhere near there, so the information is fresh. You're still going to have 14 days access to other resources, other videos, PDFs that you can download, work with the words, tricky words. Hence why I'm saying understand the answers, questions, understand the answers. You will get monitored via Theory Test Pro. So you can take your mock test online and I can see your scores, send you messages, guide you, strengths and weaknesses. And you will get something else, which I've totally forgotten what it is. Yeah, access to the live recordings. So every session is recorded and you will get access to those live recordings for 14 days as well. So just in case you miss anything, you can study it back in your own time. But I will add, for anybody who wants to join the bootcamp, it's not about signing up and just watching the recordings. It's about being live. I learn more from you by being live, by the questions you ask, especially if your camera's on, your facial expressions. I work on mindset and visuals. That's why I can help so many people. It's easy for me to just sit there and give you the answers. That's not what I'm about. So if you can't turn up to the live sessions, or the majority of the live sessions, don't sign up to the bootcamp. It's not for you. The recordings isn't going to be enough. You need to be live to ask me questions, interact with the class as a whole, to be honest. And that's what you get for your £97, if you like. Rogue, yes, I am good. Why are you doing your bike test in a couple of months? You're serious. I wish you well with that. What are we on? 6? Here we go, the first one now. Nelly, I didn't see your question. I'm working through. If you've done a question with the Q semicolon, I will come across it. I'm not ignoring you. There's so many people on there. There's 95, just type in. So give me a moment. I will get to your question, especially if you've done a Q semicolon. I'll tell you what I'll do, Nelly, just for you. Once I go through the 6, if you've done a Q semicolon, I'll be able to find it and I'll answer it for you. Right, all of you, most of you, I won't say all of you, most of you gone for B. There's a couple of D's on there. Oh, someone's changing the answers now. Right, let's take a look. B, compulsory maximum speed limit. And what was the other option that you guys went for? D, compulsory minimum speed limit. Minimum would be a blue circle. Maximum is a red circle. So it's going to be, that's why I said there's clues in the answer, but hence why you really look at the signs. So 50 tells you it's a maximum with that one. So you want to go for, like I said, let me just show you. This has got maximum in it. It's not going to draw a line. This has got a maximum in it, but it's advisory, which be a square. And this has got a maximum, which is a circle, hence why the answer is what it is. What does this sign mean? And sometimes that's how the fairy test works. It literally comes up like that. It all depends how lucky you are on a day. Right, Nelly, you did not do a Q semicolon because your question's not coming up. So I'm going to have to find it manually. As I said, if you guys got a question, please put a Q semicolon in it. It makes it a lot easier to find. Hopefully I did that already. With the level crossing, that's a common question. And that's the one of the most asked questions I get via email. So what it says, you want to go through gates. How do you go through the gates? Basically, summary is you want to open both gates and drive through without stopping. The common answer is open one gate at a time. For you to open one gate at a time, when you go to open the second gate, you have to stop on the level crossing. That does not lead to safety, because if a train comes while you're opening the second gate, you have got a problem. So it's going to be open both gates if the guy told you it was safe to go, and then you drive through without stopping. That's why it's the safest option. So hopefully that makes sense. Michael, first and foremost, thank you, wife, for me, and welcome here. If you've got any questions, please put a Q semicolon and I can find it and answer it. Noble, thank you for coming back if you're still here, and letting me know. Congratulations on passing. Right, what are we on 7? Nelly, I will get to your question. I've just got to dig it up, because like I said, it's amongst the comments now without a Q. Here's the first one. Right, A. Right. Oh, someone's gone for a B. Right, common answers A. Tina, welcome. Change your mind just in time, Luscious love. Right, A's common. The key bit here is this bit crossed out. So you're leaving the 20 zone, you're now going back into a 30 zone. What helps to reduce traffic bunching on a motorway? Right, Nelly, is it possible to see the test? What test are we talking about? Let me know what test you are talking about and I can answer that. But if you're talking about the real test, as in the theory test, no. You're only going to get to see that via the apps. And as I said, the questions are worded differently. There's going to be some questions you've never seen. Other than that, if you're talking about this test, you should be able to see it's on screen. So I'm not clear what question, what test you're talking about. So just clarify with me so I can answer it. Hopefully that was the question. That's the only question I see from you on there. Number 8. So I'm trying to find the 8. There's so many comments. First one. Okay, hold on. 8C, 8B. Right, change, difference of opinion. Right, it seems that C is common. Welcome. Right, C's common. Sorry. Variable speed limits. Yeah, on a smart motorway, they can change the speed limit live while you change driving, so it's lowered the speed limit, so it takes you longer to get 3-4 miles ahead, so it reduces the traffic. So that's variable speed limits is the correct answer. What does this sign mean? Is it possible to have access to the questions I wrote for my mock test, please? I'm not understanding that question. Is it possible to have access to the questions I wrote for my mock test? Whatever mock test that you did, you have access to it as long as you haven't clicked off of it. So if you're talking about via the app, 4-in-1 app, you got access to it only if you haven't clicked off that particular mock test. Once you click off and start a new one, no, you haven't got the questions wrong. If you're talking about, because you're in the course, you should still have access to it because I've got access to it, so it should still be on there. So if you're talking about in the Ferry Test Pro, you will have access to that because I have access to that. So hopefully that answered your question. But if you're talking about outside of the Ferry Test Pro, no, if you clicked off of it, you won't have access to it. Congratulations. Thank you for letting me know. Appreciate that. Welcome. Again, what message? Let me look for your message. I'll give me a chance to look for that. I'll do it between the next question. The one you failed, no. Won't have access to it. All you got is access to the category you got the questions wrong in. They don't give you access because, again, what used to happen back in the day when they did that, the student went off, memorized the answers they got wrong, thinking it's going to be the same test, went back, different questions, same result. I fell. So all they're going to do now is give you the categories you got the question wrong in, and then you need to go and restudy those categories. And then hopefully when you go for the next test, you would have studied enough to cover any shortfall based on any categories they give you. But you cannot see the result of your real test, just the category. So hopefully that answers that, Nelly. Pope. as I keep saying, look at the categories you've got the questions wrong in, and then go from there as your baseline, and then go and restudy those particular categories. Let me come back to that, Mark. Let me just go do the 9s first. What you guys got to understand, the reason why they don't give you the answers and reveal the questions you got wrong on the real test is because they want you to understand it. I can't stress enough, you're using this knowledge for your driving test, because the examiner is not asking you what road signs mean, what road markings means. He's just watching how you interact with it. And if you interact with it in the wrong manner, he's going to mark it down on his report sheet. So you need to retain this information. So they need you to understand it. No problem, Nelly, you're welcome. Right, so 9 is common answer, zebra crossing the head. I will add with this one, they can, on the real test I'm talking about, they can do it as pedestrian crossing. So they can do it as zebra crossing, which is individual, or they can do it for pedestrian crossing as in collective. So it could be either one of those on the real test as an answer. What should you do if a driver pulls out of a side road in front of you, causing you to brake hard? Elemento, you said I don't know if you'll see my messages. I've typed in your name and your messages aren't coming up. So if you've sent me a message or a question that you want me to answer, please type it in again, because it's not coming up as an individual message. I can't see what you've done. It just looks like a comment. I'll repeat, if you guys got any questions, please put a Q semicolon. It makes it so much easier for me to find it. Otherwise it looks like a comment. Do what Marcus just did. Are the practice tests, such as your 20 questions on screen now, all that are on the real theory, or are there more that you do not see until the test day? As I said, on the apps, what the app that I'm using here on screen is the Driving Test Success app, but it's a desktop version, instructor version. You guys would be doing it on your tablet and your phone. And like I said, it's got 777 questions, I believe. That's all they give you in the apps. When you go for the real test, they have a database of 1,000+ questions. So some of the questions you see on the real test will be similar to the app. And I say similar, not exact, similar to the app. And there's going to be questions that you've never, ever seen before. But the outcome is still going to be safe, what they're looking for, or a controlled outcome. So hopefully that answers your question, Mark. I can't stress enough, the apps is just an introduction to your theory test. It's not the questions. It's not the answers. It's just trying to get you to understand slightly how the words are used, trying to get you to understand the scenarios, whatever it happens to be, motorways, first aid, whatever it is they put you in, so you can go for the real test and figure out the safety factor. I can't stress like a parrot. Safety, safety, safety. If your answer does not lead to safety, it's or controlled outcome, it's going to be wrong. It cannot be right. Yes. And that's how the test works. It's luck of the day to a certain point. I know students who's gone in there and the majority of the questions they've never seen before, but because they've been trained on safety factor, how to work backwards, the clues to look for in terms of getting the answer correct, it works out for them. But like I said, they've been trained by me to know what to look for, the clues to look for, what we call the golden rules to look for. And And some of you would go in there and the majority of the questions you get, you will never have seen before. But like I said, if you understand it, it's still going to lead to the safe outcome. It's just like your driving test. On one day you go for a driving test, the road is clear. You could be back within 32, 33 minutes. And on another day, you could be out for 50, 55 minutes. It's the luck of the day. But as I say to my students, if you study well enough, it doesn't come down to luck because the knowledge is still there. Appreciate that. Yatunde, welcome to you. Hopefully you learn something. Come back next week. But most of you have gone for A. Learning to drive, welcome to you. Hopefully you're well. Yeah, but that's not the correct answer. That's what they do not want on your driving test, is beeping your horn aggressively. It's going to ignore the error and stay calm. You don't want someone to spoil your day. Don't get upset about someone's stupidity. Otherwise, you're going to be upset for the rest of your day. When may you use hazard warning lights while you're driving? Well, these are some old comments here. This was one sign question mixed up now, so I know the answer now. Yeah, you learn more from mistakes. Make mistakes, learn from them. Yeah, okay. As I keep saying, the apps are sampled questions. You guys are still studying the apps like it's the real test. And when you go in there, it throws you. 100% Prince. That's good to know. I didn't see this one. Okay, if you're still here, congratulations on passing. Another one, another pass as a 48 out of 50. Well done to you. 68, congratulations. Number 11, let's go for the 11s. So I'm trying to find 11s. You guys are typing really quick. All right, here we go. Most of you have gone for B. I got Simon B's correct. On a motorway or unrestricted dual carriageway to warn of a hazard. Again, clues. Hazard in the question, hazard in the answer. There's a link. Doesn't always work, but that's a little tip for you. Look for clues, links to the question and answers. What colour are the reflective studs between a motorway and slip road? What's the speed limit after end of a dual carriageway? Please. It depends on the context the question's asked, but normally end of a dual carriageway is 13 miles an hour. You're back into a built-up area. but it depends on the context of the question and the answers they gave you. But it's normally 30 miles an hour because you're back into a built-up area. Pope, I'll send you a message for private lessons. I don't do private lessons anymore. The only way you're going to get lessons from me, if you're talking about, well, not even driving lessons, I don't do driving lessons either. If you're talking about the ferry training, that's the boot camp. That's on the website. It goes live next Monday, 3rd, yeah, Monday the 3rd. And there's quite a few people have really booked and paid for it. So the only way you're going to get lessons from me in terms of ferry training is the boot camp, which, like I said, you go on the website, book your dates. Every Monday, it runs from every day, but every Monday it starts. You can't join halfway through the week. I think yes, because they're going to leave it. But just in case you run out of time, at least you got a mark on it. So if you flag it, you have to answer it, flag it, then move on. And then once it's finished, once you finish your 50th one, it'll give you the option of reviewing the flagged ones. And then if you click yes, it just takes you to the flagged ones only. If you want to review the whole test, you can review the whole test. But my advice that I give my students is do not review all 50. Because your mind's going to do overtime and can talk you out the wrong answer. Just go back to the flagged ones. You're flagging it because you've got a doubt. If you haven't flagged others, it means you're pretty much confident in what the answer is. If you're not confident, you shouldn't leave it unflagged, if that makes sense. If you're unsure of the answer is, you should always flag it and then spend the time to go back and work through it in detail. When will your parking affect other road users in a one-way road? When you park on the lay-by, when you park downhill, when you park in a built-up area, and so on. Help me, please. Based on the options you give me, A, B, C, there's not a D. One-way roads, A. Okay. Based on the options you've given me, it's got to be a one-way road. Because in the built-up area designed for parking, based on the context you give me, I'm not saying this is the correct answer, but based on what you've given me there, I would say a one-way road. Because if you're on a one-way road, you're stopping the flow of traffic. So that's what I would go for, but I need to see the full context because you haven't given me a D. Sorry, what number 112? Someone's gone for a B. All right, C seems common, but some of you went for a B. C seems common. Some of you went for a B. B's red. What color the reflective does between a motorway and a slip road? As soon as it's got slip road in the wording, it's green. Green's not a lane. White, red, and amber are lanes. Red's left-hand lane. White's middle lane. Amber's right-hand lane. Green's a slip road. So as soon as it's got slip road, it's always going to be green. What's a rumble device assigned to do? It's these yellow lines are the rumble. It's called rumble strips. So what are they designed to do? Justice. Well done to you. You got practical next month. What area are you taking your test? Just out of interest, what area are you doing your driving test? Which test center? And I wish you luck with that, just in case I don't get to talk to you again. I wish you luck with that practical next month. Test is on Tuesday. Again, wish you luck with that. Hopefully come back next week. Let us know how you got on. Yeah, A little bit late, but you're here. I still appreciate you turning up. Common answers D. Alert you to your hazards. Rumble strips. These yellow lines are painted slightly higher than the tarmac. Not as high as speed humps, but slightly higher than tarmac. So when your car drives over, it rumbles. So if it's a smooth rumble, your speed's fine. And if it's a violent rumble, your car's too fast. So it is to let you to approach to a hazard. Where would you see this sign? Studs, the simplest way for me to explain that is red studs is on the left, hard shoulder. Think about reds for stopping, like you do at the red traffic lights. So the only place you can stop legally on a motorway is the left, hard shoulder, hence why it's left lane. White studs are in the middle lane, and amber studs is on the right-hand lane near the crash barrier. And as I mentioned earlier on, the green studs is a slip road. I have got like a 2-minute video that gives you even a simpler explanation, but for the sake of the live, that's the simplest way I can explain it. Red for stopping, left hard shoulder, white's middle lane, amber is on the right lane, and green is your slip roads. But if you want more detail and a simpler explanation, check out the studs video on the channel. 14. Right, most of you have gone for A. So I have to assume that's correct. School bus. It would be that sign on a school bus. Yep, A. Oh, which of these signs warns you of a zebra crossing? Again, we've had this one worded differently. And again, that's how the ferry test works. They twist the questions in examination center. I won't say twist it, but they word it slightly differently, but still the same outcome. I will add with studying for the test. No problem. Some of you, not all of you, again, some of the emails that I get and reading the YouTube comments, some of you are looking for shortcuts to pass your theory test. By taking shortcuts, you are, one, probably going to fail it. And two, even if you do pass it, you may have to take 2 or 3 attempts at your driving test because your knowledge is poor. Still going to cost you in the long run. Or your instructor is going to pull you up at the side of the road to discuss signs, road markings, stuff that you should already know, which means you're wasting, I'll say it's wasting money, but you're not getting driving time. So there isn't a shortcut to passing the theory test. That's the way you need to look at it. The more work you put in now, the more money you're saving in the long run. That's the way that I'll explain to my students. You're saving money in the long run. Simple as that. Don't look for shortcuts. So most of you gone for A, which we've done before. As I said, they can do it collectively, zebra crossing or pedestrian crossings. Just in case you guys didn't know, this is your zebra crossing or pedestrian crossing. Pedestrians walking on the road, elderly people crossing, and school area. Interesting one. What does this signal from police officer mean to oncoming traffic? I'll give you a little tip on this later on. That comes up a lot in the boot camp. The sign of a dual carriageway is shown in the question, and it says after the sign, what's the speed limit? 60, 50, 40. Like I said, if the question is a box standard question, i.e. the dual carriageway, you have to look at it from a car driver's point of view, because you're taking a car theory test. If it's got nothing in it like heavy goods or towing vehicle, it's a car. So a car on a dual carriageway is 70 miles an hour. Once you come off a dual carriageway, you're normally coming back into a built-up area. So it's going to be 30 miles an hour, because the built-up areas are signified by street lights. So it's not going to be 60. 60 would be for heavy goods. 50s heavy goods on a single carriageway. 40 they don't use, so that can't be the answer. It's going to be built-up area because you're coming off a dual carriageway, based on the options you've given me. No problem, you are welcome. End of dual carriageway signs, I mean. Right, A seems a common answer. Denise, end of March. Why, that's a long way away. Why so far away? Out of interest. It's A, sorry. Little tip. If you see a flat palm or flat back hand on your rule test, it means stop. This is a red light. If you drove past her with her hands in that position, you're going to get 3 points on your license. So flat palm, this is coming from the front. And if you're coming from the back, you'll see a flat backhand. It means stop. How will your journey be affected by traveling outside of the busy times of the day? Not really. I got a video on the channel in the playlist, question of the week playlist, and I did do a video on that. And I think I'd done a video, just a general video on crossings, where I broke it down, what colors come next with traffic lights, what colors come next to order, what they mean, and I went through the crossings. But I'll be honest with you, Mark, don't worry about the crossings in terms of remembering them. Let me go through them with you, first of all, because you guys, this is another one that comes up in the boot camp. You guys stress over crossings, and we cover this on a Monday as well, on the crossings, I believe, in the boot camp. Anyway, zebras, black and white stripes, that's standard. Pelican has a flashing sequence. They do ask questions about the flashing amber light. What should you do? Puffing is sensors. So it only works when, sorry, let's rephrase that. It only changes color when someone pushes the button and senses someone's there. Toucan, this one comes up a lot on the rule test. Who's it for? What's the purpose? It's for pedestrians and cyclists. Cyclists can legally ride across. So that's what it stands for. Two can cross at the same time. And Pegasus and equestrian crossing are the same thing. They can word it either way on the rule test. So Pegasus and equestrian crossings are for horse riders. I'll just do that again. Zebras are black and white stripes. Pelicans flashing amber. Puffin is sensors. Toucan is for pedestrians and cyclists. And Pegasus and equestrian crossing are the same thing. They're for your horse riders. But if you want a bit more detail, like I said, there is a video on the YouTube channel that breaks down a bit more detail and gives you examples with the app that I use in my car. Right, most of you have gone for C. There was a difference of opinion earlier on, but most of you settled for C. Someone's gone for a D. Right, C, your journey will have fewer delays. Yeah, outside the rush hour, outside the school run. You're driving on a motorway. What does it mean if a car in front shows its hazard warning lights for a short time? So what does it mean? Oh, wow. Well done to you. Passed your test on Friday. Congrats. Thank you for turning up and letting me know how you got on. What are you going to do next? Driving lessons? Or are you looking to do a driving test? Denise, you're welcome. But still, you haven't answered why March. Because if you've been watching it for a while, couldn't you take it sooner? Or do you feel that you'd be ready for March? Or is that the only date you could get? Because I noticed when I'm booking some of the tests, theory test dates for the guys in the boot camp who asked me to book their test, the waiting time is longer than usual. That's what I've noticed anyway. So probably that's the reason why. No problem, Mark. C is common. Yeah, hazard warning lights. The reason for that sometimes in broad daylight, the brake lights don't show up clearly. So that's why they put the hazard lights on, just in case you didn't know. Because amber lights will always show up in broad daylight. Brake lights don't show up clearly in broad daylight. What does this sign mean? I gave you a little tip earlier on, so it should be slightly easier to answer that question. Going to do a driving test. What area are you looking to take your test in? Just interesting. Scotland is the most popular place on this channel. Scotland, then Birmingham. So what area are you looking to take your driving test? Right, we've got the D19, sorry. Hello. Shakiba. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Welcome to you. I've not seen your name before, so I'm assuming you're new or a silent watcher. I'll put this one up. Your internet connection, or you're typing in the wrong letter or number, sorry. You're 16A and we're on 19. So your internet connection is either really slow or you're typing in the wrong number. I thought my one was bad this morning. Derby. Okay, interesting. Right, 19's common. 19's common. D's common. As I mentioned earlier on, another little tip for you. 95% of red circles are no's. On the real test, if they give you a sign like this, they'll always give you two with no's, like you got here. So no, no. So you can get rid of this one, rid of this one. Just in case you don't know what the sign is, they give you a more complex one. Get rid of the two with no no's in it. And then you're left with a 50-50. It kind of becomes clear after that because the two signs are totally opposite, if that makes sense. So no motor vehicles would be motorbike, motor car in the image. And this is not overtaking, because when you overtake side by side. So like I keep saying, read or look at the image first, because sometimes there's clues that can help you out. What does this sign mean? And this sign gets mixed up with another sign in the classroom when we used to do classroom sessions. It get mixed up on the boot camp as well. Well, you're a busy person. And your birthday's on the 28th of January. You're a couple of days before mine, because January is 31 days, I believe. So I'm on the 2nd, you are on the 28th. Right, you got a lot going on. CPC next week, HDV on the 10th, and your CE training on March. I will add, Mark, if you've got your HGV, if you're using the 4-in-1 app, you can change the questions to HGV. All you got to do is go to the settings and then change the questions, and they will give you your HGV questions in that. You don't have to use the same app as in the car. So it's the same app, change the questions, and that will help you out with that. So I wish you luck with all of that, to be fair, but you've got a busy 2 to 3 months. And I wish you happy birthday next week. And Mark, while you're doing that, please come back and let us know how you're getting on. Right, common answers D. Right, that sign normally gets mixed up. Someone's gone for a C. That sign normally gets mixed up with a hump bridge in the classroom and online. But most of you got the right answer, so you didn't fall for the trap. It got to be. Oh, brilliant. Hopefully that's going well for you then. No problem. Right. It's humps in the road. Hump bridge will have a white bit in the middle. Suggest you can go over and under. Because it's solid, you can only go over. So don't fall for the trap on a real one. Right, let me just catch up with you guys. Oh, before we do that, let me just quickly explain something. Oh, it's like I clicked the wrong ones from somewhere along the line. 19 out of 20, it's like I clicked the wrong one. Not a problem. Good learning point. Right, let me do this first, as I do every week. As I mentioned in the beginning, there's 14 categories across the board. On your day of a test, you will get X amount of questions from certain categories to make up 50. If there's 10 of you in the room, it's 10 different tests. It's not the same test for the same 10 people in there. It's just random questions. So road and traffic signs. There's 8. That's a lot to be for a 20 question mock test. 8. Sorry, it's 9, but I got 8 out of 9. Vulnerable road users, 2. Rules of the road, 1. Motorway rules, 4. Hazard awareness, 2. Vehicle handling, 1. And safety in your vehicle, 1. And I'll be honest, road and traffic signs, to get 9 out of 20 questions, that's just 11 other questions, to be fair. Now look at this. I made the mistake in clicking the wrong one. And that's what can happen on your real test. That's why you need high 40s. So when some of you guys are saying to me via email, in the YouTube comments and on the live, I only missed it by 1, you got 42, you got 8 questions wrong. Because if you aim for the pass mark, 43, let's say I was aiming for 43 and I made a couple of mistakes, just basic mistakes, because you guys gave me the answer and I still clicked the wrong one. And I made a basic mistake. I now got 42. That means I failed my test. If I aim for 50 and I fall short, I made a couple of mistakes, I'm still passing. And that's the reason why when you guys say to me, I missed it by 1, no, you didn't. You needed 1 to pass, but you got 8 questions wrong. Aim high. So if you fall short, you fall over the line. If you aim low, i.e. just the basic mark of 43, and you make a mistake, just a common mistake, you fall short, you are going to fail. Like I said, mistakes happen, and I'm doing it live right here. So all I'm saying to you guys, always aim to get 50 out of 50. If you get 43 on the day and pass it, take it. It's not a problem. But do not aim for 43. All I need is 43. That makes the brain lazy. That's just the way it works. And that's human nature. So hopefully that helps you guys out with that. Right. Sorry, learn to drive. I've had 4 driving lessons, so 4. Right, first and foremost, are we talking about 4 single hours, as in 4 hours? Or are we talking about 4 double hours, which would be, don't do live maths, it'd be 8 hours. Are you a nervous person generally? This is what I would say to my pupils. If we was exploring why they're still nervous after 4 lessons, are you a nervous person generally in life? If that's the case, you're going to drive exactly the way you are in life. That's your character. If that's the case, you're going to have to ride it out. It does get easier. It does get less nerve wracking. But that's life. Nerves is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. As long as you can control the nerves, do not let the nerves control you. But the first question I would ask is, how many hours, 4 or 8, based on what you're saying, 4 singles, 4 doubles, and then are you a nervous person in life? If you are, that's your character. Unfortunately, you're driving, you have to adapt the nerves to your driving, but that takes time. If you've got a decent instructor, it will happen quicker than later. That makes sense. Eat with Bobby, yes, we're live, if that's what you're asking. Learning to drive, just type in the chat, let me know. Sorry, because it'd be interesting, just for my curiosity. Are you a nervous person generally? Is it possible to study for the ferry test in 2 weeks? Yes, it is. If it is structured. If you're just doing a scattergun type of approach, no, it's not. If it's structured learning, it is. Like I said, I do a 5-day boot camp. And when I did it in the classroom, it was 5 days. And the pupils all passed. So yes, if it's structured learning, yes. And this week, our students, I've got a 3-day boot camp because they're tested on Thursday. So obviously the boot camp is normally 4:30 to 6:30. They got their test on Thursday, the 30th, I think it is. And obviously it's 5 o'clock for them, so they can't do the Thursday boot camp. So I'm structuring it for 3 days for them to pass on the 4th day. So yes is the question. Sorry, yes is the answer, but it has to be structured so the information stays in a logical order. No problem, Denise. Take care. Sorry, I can't. Yorkshire is way out of my territory. I'm North London. I would suggest Google search ask friends and family, or go to your local test center and talk to the instructors there direct and see if you can get ahead of the game basically with that. No, it wouldn't let me end. I did answer it. It wouldn't let me end, but it doesn't really matter. Like I said, I appreciate the comment. It doesn't really matter. Like I said, I'm human. I make mistakes just like you guys do. Hence why when I talk from experience. With my students, I still read the questions carefully. when we did classroom sessions anyway, 1-to-1. It's now live online. So again, I still read the questions carefully online. But all I'm trying to show you guys, I still make mistakes, and I do this every single week. If I'm making mistakes, you guys are making mistakes. I'm talking from experience, not just someone who's just taking things out of thin air. That's fine. Just curious of why. So if that's the date you can get, it's fine. It's March. You've got a lot of time to study. What I would do, if I was you, Denise, I would put the work up front. So do the bulk of the studying up front, and then you kind of ease off towards the test date, so you're not stressing yourself out. Because when the test date is so far away, what normally happens is tomorrow, and before you know it, your test date's a week away, and then you try to cram. So I would do the front load of work now, the bulk of your study now, and then just kind of ease off slightly towards the end, so you're under less stress, less panic. That's what I would do if my test date's that far away. So you're doing 2 hours at a time, you're still nervous. So the question would remain for me, are you a nervous person generally? Because as I said, that would reflect why you're still nervous. Need help with what? Is the question I would ask. Emmanuel, congratulations on passing yesterday, Saturday. Well done to you. 9 times. Are you saying you took the real test 9 times and still failing? Just clarify that for me. And if it's a yes, is it 9 times the questions, 9 times has a perception, or mix of both? Book for next month, which is only around the corner. Lula, hopefully that goes well for you. Can you please go over the driving YouTube channels you recommend last week? Yes, Driving School TV, Conquer Driving School, Clearview Driving School, DGN Driving School is the ones I would recommend. There's lots of others out there, but those are the ones that I recommend because I think those guys give you the information at the right level, and they make it fun as well, which driving lessons should be. Driving lessons should not be stressful for you guys. For us, maybe, but not for you guys. So you need an instructor who's going to make it fun, exciting, and make it less nerve-wracking. Good morning to you. Yeah, like I said, if that's your character, it's your character. It's only going to take time to ease out of that. The people I had last week, not last week, she was pretty good to be fair. The week before, she was really nervous. And she had some driving experience in Cambridge where there's less traffic, more cyclists, less traffic. And so she was really nervous driving in London for the first time. But that was her character. We worked out that's her character. Over time, by the time Friday, she was spinning the car around Tottenham, Enfield, like it was nobody's business. It takes time. But like I said, you need an instructor to help you get over that. And nervousness is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Just don't let the nerves control you. And this is for the theory test as well for you guys. Don't let the nerves overtake you, because if it does, you can't think clearly. You need to be able to think clearly. So you have to stay calm as much as possible. Right, I'm going to do a demonstration with the hazard perception. Yes, it is live, Bobby. I'm talking to you right now. No problem. Good morning. Yes, I am going to be here next Sunday. Thank you. I appreciate that. Boot camp's Monday to Friday. Every Monday it starts. You can't join halfway through, so you have to book a Monday for your start time. And then it's Monday to Friday, 4:30 to 6:30. Like I said, my students this week from the driving school will only do 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but they will be ready for their test for Thursday. You guys will still get 5 days regardless of whether the other students are there or not. But I will stress, if you can't attend live, don't book it. It's not for you. No, don't do weekends. Right. It's definitely something to bootcamp, correct. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Darren, definitely pass. Is that supposed to be a pass? Just clarify what you mean by that, Nahoot. You failed 3 times. Again, you've got paperwork. You've got the paperwork is stats, it's data. Put them side by side, work out if there's a common denominator or category why you're failing on, and study those categories again. That's what my advice would be. Can I talk more about turning right and overtaking? Give me a minute on that one. I can probably, if the iPad's set up properly, I can show you live. No problem. Yes, please do. And congratulations again on passing. I know the effort that you've put into that. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate. To get a driving instructor, like I said earlier on, Google search, ask friends and family, or go to the local test centre and talk to them while their pupils out on test. Right, let me just deal with this quickly. Sorry, let me just, I didn't see this one. Congrats, 69 at 75. Well, that's high. Well done to you. Congratulations. This bit here I love because it was your words in my head during the multiple questions. When my pupils say that to me, I can hear your voice. Golden nuggets, look for clues, blah, blah, blah. When it comes to the driving test, safety, safety, don't take risk. My job is done because all you can hear is my voice is safety, safety for the theory test. When it comes to driving, what my pupil hears, do not take risks. Ask yourself, is it safe to go? Ask yourself, what's the safest thing to do? That's all I preach to my students. All they know is safety, safety, safety. Hence why they get success in based on the driving test and their theory test. As I said, I work on mindset. It's easy to give answers, but if you don't understand what the answers are or have the right mindset, you're still going to fail anyway. Right, sorry, someone asked me about right turns, dual carriageways. Right, let me see if I can do this with my app. And then I'll do the mock test. Sorry, do the hazard perception for you guys. My iPad is not set up for this, so I'll try it, but if it doesn't work, I'll just explain. Right. Let's try. Let's get rid of that. Right, dual carriageways. You probably can't see it clearly. So dual carriageways, the questions are, what's the right-hand lane used for a dual carriageway? So a dual carriageway, hopefully you can see this, is central reservation in the middle. So it's got a crash barrier in the middle. The difference between a motorway and a dual carriageway, a motorway continues, there's no break in it. So there's central reservation all the way on the motorway. So if the question comes up, what is the right-hand lane for a motorway? It's for overtaking only. If it's a dual carriageway question, the answer's for overtaking. So if a car was here, you're overtaking and turning right. So you can turn right here. So hopefully that makes sense. The other questions are, what would you do if you're turning right at a dual carriageway and the central reservation is narrow? So you can see the red car here. If the reservation is narrow, you'd wait for both ways to be clear at the same time. And if it's wide enough for you to fit, you break it down in stages. You look to your right, and then you go into the middle and wait. And then you would turn. So let me just repeat that. If the central reservation is narrow, let me just show you. If the reservation is narrow, you will wait for the traffic to be clear in both directions, and then you will go without stopping. If it's wide enough for you to fit, then you'll go into the middle and wait and then turn. So that's the questions. So let me just repeat. Turning right on a dual carriageway, what's the right-hand lane used for? Overtaking and turning right. And if the central reservation is narrow, what do? Wait for both ways to be clear at the same time. So hopefully that makes sense. So let me do, I wish you luck with that on Tuesday. Please come back and let us know. If you are getting 4s and 5s, you're laughing. If the problem would be if you're getting 3s and 2s. If you're getting 5s and 4s, that's fine. I wouldn't, it's not broke, I wouldn't fix it. Leave it as it is. But like I said, if you're getting 3s and 2s, you definitely want improvement. So don't stress if you're getting 5s and 4s. Where will your parking affect other road users in the built-up area? You give me no options, so I can't answer that question. If you want me to give you a blanket answer, it's going to be covering a driveway, blocking a driveway. But you give me no other options. Like I said, just because the question's asked, it doesn't mean to say there's only one option. It depends on the option they gave you. So, for example, you said, where will parking affect other road users in a built-up area? The other option could be double parked. You haven't given me no option, so the blanket information I would give, or the blanket answer I would give, is blocking a driveway, because obviously you're blocking someone's entrance in and entrance out. But you have to look at the context of the answers they gave you. As I said, as example I use, if I teach you 2 + 2 = 4, it doesn't mean to say someone asks you what does 3 + 1 equal? It's the same answer. It's just a different way of asking. So you've got to give me the options so I can give you a better answer to it, if that makes sense. Yeah, just a little bit late. Yeah, like as I keep saying, you guys are still studying. Like, yeah, that's the real question. So you're going in there thinking, right, I've already seen all the questions. I know what the answers are. And then when it's worded slightly differently, it throws you. You start panicking, freaking out. You can't think clearly. The questions are worded differently, but the outcome is still the same. It's still safety. It's always going to be just a one answer that leads to safety. Don't care how to ask the question. It still leads to safety. Again, I use the 2 + 2 example. But I say, if I teach you 2 + 2, someone says what's 1 + 1 + 1 + 1, it's still 4. If someone says what's 3 + 2 take away 1, it's still 4. It's worded differently, but the answer still leads to 4. 4 equals safety. That's how you have to look at it. Right. There you go. Read your truth tellers saying building entrance, i.e. driveway. Right, let me do has a perception first and foremost. Let me get to my iPad. Let me just quickly show you something. Let me come out of this one, go into this one, and show you the driving test report sheet. So for a driving test, you're going to get a copy of this report sheet. Pass or fail, the examiner will email it to you once the driving test is finished. So if you look at box 14, use of mirrors before you signal, change a direction, and change a speed. That is your hazard perception. So every time you're watching a video and you're clicking, that's the equivalent of you checking the mirrors in real life. That's the reason why the hazard perception was introduced. So you guys get trained on checking your mirrors. So problem, mirror, problem, mirror. That's the way that I teach my pupils on the driving lesson. As soon as you see a problem, check your mirror. If I say turn left, you check your mirror. And that's what you're doing on the video. So anything that's going to cause you to slow down or change direction, you need to check your mirrors. Just before we move on, since I've got this one set up, box 17, if you check that, response to signs and signals, that's your theory test right there. Traffic signs, road markings, traffic lights, traffic controllers, other road users. As I said, the examiner is not asking you what signs means. He's not asking you what you should be doing in this situation. He's just sitting back and watching. And if you don't deal with the relevant information correctly, i.e. apply your theory to your driving, he's going to mark it down in a relevant box. That's the reason why I say you need to understand the theory. If you understand it, you're going to pass anyway, but you need to understand it for your driving part. Once you pass the theory test, it doesn't get parked and leave it there. You need that knowledge to move forward to pass your driving test. Right, that's enough of me waffling. Let me now do a hazard perception, because that's what you are here for, if I can find it. Right. Let's try to find low stars. Let's see, I only got 3 stars. Right, let's use this one. So I can't see round the bend on this one, so I'm going to click. And I always go for 2 clicks. Always see a problem, click 1, 2, click again. Narrow bridge, hump bridge, click 1, 2, click again, just in case something comes over. Can't see round the bend, click. Look into the bend. The bend's shallow on this one. The car's coming towards me, so I'm going to click, see a problem, click, go for 2. I'm actually going to go for another one just to make sure. It's always about you getting a score. That's the one that's caused me to slow down. That's the one I'm going to get marked on. As weird as it sounds, it's not about seeing the problem. It's about getting a score. You have to get scores. What's that? 4 out of 5. Hopefully, let me show you so I'm not cheating. 4 out of 5. And then review your clip back. Some of you guys just get 0, click off and try again. That's irrelevant. What you want to do is learn from mistakes. So for the sake of the video, let me just speed it up. See, in fact, there's a car. As soon as the car, I should have clicked there. Technically, is what they're saying. Never mind. So there's my first click. Let's rewind it back slightly. So I clicked there. And there's my second click. So if the first click in my case landed in the 4, the second one landed in the 3, they'll always give you the highest mark. There's no benefit in clicking once. Lots of benefits in clicking twice, but no benefit in clicking once. You run the risk of getting 0. So like I say, it's not about seeing the problem. It's about getting a score. As weird as it sounds, get a score. You can see the problem all day long, but if you click too early, it means nothing. Let me just see what you guys are saying with that. No problem, Bobby. Religiously. Thank you, Henry. Appreciate that. Right, no one's saying anything about the hazard perception. I'm assuming you guys are understanding that. Right, let me do another demonstration. So let me just clarify what I'm saying. On your videos, there's at least one problem. On one video, there's 2. On one of them, there's always 1. It's not about seeing the problem. It's about getting a score. The video has to start from somewhere. So treat it like a game where you're trying to get the highest score possible. Not see the problems, trying to get the highest score possible. Now, if I can find my favorite video to demonstrate this on, I'll do that for you. So it's real life clips. Right, so let me just show you on this one. So I'm going to click seeing the problem and see what happens. So speed limit signs, don't want to speed up if someone's about to overtake me. Brake lights, if they slow down, I may need to slow down. When you're watching a video, you want to be scanning left to right. So the shop on the corner, the blue shop, there's nothing there for me to hit. The side road to my left, the petrol station, no cars are coming out. Don't need to click on that. So the woman walking to the zebra crossing, there's a problem. I click, and that's me done. So the woman is the problem with the zebra crossing. So I saw the woman and I clicked on it. Watch what happens. I actually got 5 out of that. Even though I'm trying to get it wrong, I got 5 out of that. But let's see. Review it back. Let's speed it up. Right, there you go. Right, hopefully you guys can see that. There's my first click. It's a 0. And as I said, it's about getting a score. It's not about me seeing it. It's about me getting a score. So my first click, I saw it. I got a 0. And then because I go for 2 clicks to cover myself just to make sure. And there's my second click. And that's why it's important you go for 2 clicks. It's not about whether you see it. I stress, and I'm saying it like a parrot, like I do with my students in the class and on boot camp. It's not about seeing the problem, because I saw the problem with my first click. It's about getting a score. That's the reason why you go for 2 clicks. And I will add, because I got a lot of emails this week and a lot of YouTube comments. You do not count your clicks. It's pointless. Do not count your clicks. If you click on things that exist, it cannot be too many clicks unless you're spamming for the one problem. So let me come out of that and see if you guys are saying anything. Here we go. Look right there. Rigid truth teller. How many clicks allowed in real test? Do not count your clicks. You're wasting energy trying to count them. It's pointless. Click on things that exist. You've got nothing to worry about. If you're going crazy, what I call trigger happy, and you're clicking all over the place, yeah, you're going to have to worry. But even counting your clicks ain't going to change anything. Do not count your clicks. Click on things that exist. In other words, things that's going to cause you to slow down or change direction. If you do those 2 things, slow down, change direction, then you won't be clicking too many times. And if you do click too many times, when you're practicing, refine it. That's the whole point of practice. Get better. Yeah, 3 clicks, 4 clicks in some cases work. Sometimes when I'm demonstrating, I think I've clicked too early, I will go for 3 clicks. Because like I said, it's about getting a score. So if I don't think I've got a score, I'm going to click again. But I'm not trigger happy, so I can afford to do 3. I can afford to do 4. But if I'm clicking on things that don't exist, once I start doing 3 or 4 on those things that don't exist, I'm now running the risk of clicking too many times for that click, for that hazard perception. No problem. Again, someone's asked me, Jerome, how many times can you click on the actual hazard perception test? Like I said, don't count. I don't live around the Manchester area. And if you wanted help, I'm assuming Very Wise, that's what you're talking about. That will be through the boot camp. Again, see, common. How many times can I click? In a short space of time, 1, 2, 3. 3 different people in a short space of time in the comment section. And that's my point. That's common on the YouTube comments, and that's common with the emails I'm getting about hazard perception. You guys are worried about clicking too many times. The question is, why are you worried about clicking too many times? That's not your problem. Your problem should be you're not seeing the problem. Hence why you got to click too many times. If you're seeing the problem, you don't need to click too many times. Let me give you another demonstration and show you what I mean. This is similar to the questions. If you don't understand the hazard perception, you're going to click too many times and fail it. Whereas if you don't understand the questions, you're going to click the wrong answer. So it's about understanding what you're looking for. You're looking for problems. If you click on problems, it ain't going to add up to too many times. So let me just change this and I'll, let's go back to real life. Sorry. Oh, there's a few with no 0. Okay. I just found a few with no stars on it. So I've not seen these videos as live. Literally. iPad. Right, so these have got no stars. I've not seen these before, otherwise they'd have stars on it. Right, it's that new that I've not even downloaded it yet. So I'm downloading it live for you guys. So I've not seen this video before, so I'm seeing it the first time. Hopefully what you guys are seeing it. What was it, 77? All right, so I'm going to click on things that exist, nothing else. Right, so there's nothing going on at this precise moment. That's all clear, nothing going on. 40 miles an hour, still nothing going on. $40 miles an hour, still nothing going on. Right, I got activity in front. I'm going to click. 2. Cyclists, click again. 2. I'm going to keep going just in case it's one of my doubles. Still nothing going on. 40 miles an hour. 1 out of 5. That's how poor that is. So there, live. I've never seen that video before. I've got 1 out of 5. Let's take a review back, see if I could improve. Right. They've circled that. I'm looking at my video. Maybe on screen you guys can see this. I'm looking on the video. I can't see a thing. Literally, I can't see anything for me to be clicking on. So there's no way on earth I'm going to get a 5 for that because I can't see anything. It's only about now that I can actually see something going on. And that's because the car's coming towards me more than anything else. I still can't see the cyclist. So maybe on screen it looks clear to you guys. I don't know what you guys can see. But for me on the iPad right here, I can't see the cyclist. I can see the car coming and that's why I've clicked. And that's one of the reasons why I say review it back so you can improve. So I'm showing you live. Like I said, mistakes happen, but I cannot see those cyclists on this video. Literally now is when I can see them. Let's do another one. It's interesting. Right, this one I've not seen before either. Let's download it. Practice makes better. Like, I don't hide nothing from you guys. If I mess up, you are seeing it live. In my videos, if I mess up, I leave it in the videos. I don't edit it out. I don't want you guys to think it's this easy. It takes work, it takes practice. And even with me practicing, I still get a 1. But does it bother me? No, because you know what? I'm going to download all of these and practice them. Right, what was it? 76, I think it was. Right, so this one I've not seen before either. Let's see if this is any better. I will add though, before I click on this one, when you go for your real test, it's all CGI, so it's a lot clearer. These are real life clips, as you can see. They're not CGIs. So the CGI ones, when you go for the real test, they're all CGIs. But when you practice on the app, there's a combination of CGIs and real life. And the real life ones, as you can see, are harder to see. Right. It says slow. So it's a forward. Look into the bend. 40 miles an hour again. Right, something's come out in the road. Animal. I'm going to keep going just in case it's my double. 40 miles an hour. I can't see around the bend, so I'm going to click on that. $40 miles an hour. Still can't see nothing going on. Still can't see nothing. It's all clear. Four out of 5. Let's take a look if I could have got 5 out of 5. Come on. Right, let's just speed up for the sake of the video. So Where could I have clicked to get earlier? Right, it's saying there. Again, I can't see anything at this point. Again, maybe on the screen that you guys can see, it's clear. But for me, I can't see nothing where they've got it highlighted. Literally, is there is where I can see something moving. And that's where I click literally. And I think it was a 4. And the second click landed in a 2 in that situation. And this is for all the guys that said, how many times should you click? Like I said, only click on things that exist. So let me just forward this video quickly. Let's get to the end. Only 4 clicks. I don't count my clicks. It's pointless. Like I said, you're wasting your time. So I've only clicked 4 times on this video and I got a 4 out of 5 because there's only 2 things I thought was necessary for me to click on. On the previous video, I think it was 4 clicks as well, maybe 6. But again, like I said, I couldn't see what the problem was. So like I said, don't count your clicks. Only click on things that exist. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, let me just see what you guys are saying in the chat. Yeah, don't get complacent. Just don't ignore it. Practice keeps a skill going. So you said you can't see either. Could not see as well. 40 miles an hour. The reason why I say 40 miles an hour on the video, because if the speed limit changed to 30, you should be checking the mirrors before slowing down. That's the reason why I was saying out loud 40 miles an hour. But it stayed 40. Remember, the whole point is seeing hazards. So if I don't recognize 40, if it goes to 30, it doesn't tally. So you say 40. If it goes to 50, for example, then you want to be clicking again. If it slows down, you want to click, because remember, you're slowing down from 40 to 30. You're going to have to click because you should be clicking on things that cause you to slow down. In some cases, yes, that's where you go for 2 clicks. Couldn't see either. Totally agree. But as I said, what you're trying to do is perfect your skill. So when you go for the real test, at least you've got a better idea. But I will suggest that all the clips on the real test are CGIs. So they're a lot crystal clear than the real life clips. When they used to do all real life clips back in the day, the failure rate was high because it was hard to see, as you just saw. But now they're all CGIs, the pass rate is slightly higher than it was previous. But you are still practicing your skill. If you're talking about for the mock test, as in what I just did, yes, you can go back and review. If you're talking about for the real test, no. It's only once only. Once the test is finished, you get your paperwork and it gives you a breakdown for how many 5s, how many 4s, how many 3s, 2s, 1s and 0s and so on and so on. As I said, yeah, don't get complacent. I'm good at hazard perception, but I still practice from time to time just to keep the eye in. As you saw, I just got 1 on the video. No problem. Not the real test, as I just explained. You can't replay. You only get one goal only on the real test. Hence why you want to practice at home. Right, there's no more comments on that one. So I'm assuming you guys are all happy with that. So on that note, I'm going to wish you guys a enjoyable Sunday. Just hopefully you guys, whatever you do, whether it's relaxing, studying. No, you can't do it on the real test. Only one goal only. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Peaceful with your family, whatever it is that you guys decide to do. If you've got a test coming up next week, I wish you luck with that. I know some of you got one on Tuesday coming up, so I wish you luck with that. Come back next week. Let us know how you got on. I shall see you next Sunday. So take care, stay safe. And thank you guys for joining me live this Sunday. Appreciate that a lot. See ya.